Erev Shabbos Kodesh Parashat Tazria-Metzora, and here the Torah discusses and teaches us about a leprous-like condition, a spiritual condition, which we really don't know that much about, and we don't really have it nowadays, but there's so much to learn from it. What happens is that a simple Jew, acting his life simply, finds on his skin, it could be on his head or on his hand or anywhere on his body, he finds a nega. A nega is a sort of an affliction which appears on the skin. And he takes that nega, he takes himself and he shows it to the Kohen. And when he does so, the Kohen looks at it and very often puts him into bidud, quarantine. So here's the person with the nega, oy vey, I have an affliction, who knows what this can possibly mean. And the Kohen requires me so often to be bidud, to be in quarantine. And then there's an examination as to what type of an affliction it is. One of the main afflictions that can happen is called a netek. A netek is a type of a scraping or a disconnect which can take place on his skin, and that has its laws, its contamination, if you will, and its requirements for purity. What's interesting is that if you'll look back into possibly the oldest Kabbalah book in history, the Sefer HaYetzirah, the Sefer HaYetzirah examines every letter of the Aleph Bet and teaches us what they mean and how they come together as words. Says the Sefer Yetzirah that the most despised and the most frightening thing that can happen is I have a nega, a nun, gimel, ayin. But says the Sefer Yetzirah that if you do the right thing and you turn around those letters from nun, gimel, ayin, you can get oneg, ayin, nun, gimel. Nega, crisis. Oneg, a pleasure. If you take a netek, which is one of the most despised type of symptoms that one can have, and you turn around those letters, nun, taf, kuf, you get teken, a connect. From affliction, you can get, says the Sefer HaYetzirah, oneg, pleasure. From netek, which is a disconnect, you can get a connect, a teken, or a repair. What does this mean? It means that so often, when something seems wrong, we develop a symptom which frightens us. But it causes us to look inward, whether it's physically, medically, or spiritually, into our soul. And we repair it. We take care of it. Very often we go into a quarantine called a bidud. Once we repair it, we're better off than we originally started. Our nega can become an oneg, our netek can become a teken. Pleasure, repair, reconnect. And how important is this in the days that the whole world is going to? Fighting and with scientists and medical professionals, looking at what it is that is causing us all to be frightened and to go into this quarantine, bidud. So often when we go inward, whether it's physically or whether it's spiritually, we make the introspection, which is necessary. We make the tikkun and we get a teken. So in these difficult days, let's look inward and let's take the opportunity to find out what's really going on. Let's get the inner self, the soul, shining so that we can go into this coming month. Today is Rosh Chodesh. We can go into this coming month with good health, with happiness, with pleasure, and with only hearing good news, a refuah shalema to all those that are ill, and we should all be able to go out once again and enjoy each other. Shabbat shalom u'mevarach.